This is a Nasus one trick, and this is me. So for the next 10 hours, I'm gonna try and learn Nasus in 3 steps. First, normal games, second, do some research, and third, play some ranked games. You're dead too! And spoiler alert, this challenge had some absolutely great and absolutely terrible moments. Also, this challenge has a special side mission to get 10,000 stacks, so that'll be fun. So what runes and items should you go on Nasus? For runes, you usually go Fleet Footwork. It gives you extra sustain and movement speed, which is very important because you are very weak early game. However, if you want a snowball, you can also go Lethal Tempo, but it is a lot more high risk, high reward. Your build is pretty simple. You always rush Trinity Force and then go Frozen Heart and Spirit Visage. And then after that, just go tanky bruiser items like Steric's Gauge, Sundered Skies, Dead Man's Plate, Thornmail, Force of Nature, stuff like that. And with that, on to some normal games. My very first game was probably the worst matchup I could have possibly imagined. Vayne. Wow, okay, Nasus is absolute dog shit early. She has percent HP damage, self-peel, and can poke me under tower. Meanwhile, I took Flash instead of Ghost on accident, and I was just trying to learn what this character did. I think if I wasn't so far behind and had Ghost instead of Flash, I could have actually killed her at this point. But unfortunately for me, I was new to Nasus and I kind of inted. Yeah, my first game was pretty rough. Luckily, my second game started off a lot better after getting an early gank from Sylas. I was already starting to learn that you absolutely need Sheen and ult to be a champion. But once you get those 2 things, you're actually kinda strong. Seriously though, Nasus is an absolute beast in the mid and late game. I mean, look at the damage I'm doing with each Q. Okay, this challenge is gonna be fun. Since I was just playing normal games, my chat convinced me to play crit Nasus, and holy moly did it do damage. Actually, I didn't even have crit yet. Maybe Nasus just does this much damage in general? Okay, this champion is not fair in the 1v1 once you get your ult and Sheen. This guy actually just can't play the game. Wait, this champion's not okay! Unfortunately, crit Nasus is not as tanky as the normal build. Sure, I do more damage, but I also am not able to 1v2 or 1v3 as easily. But it's a totally fine trade-off when your Q can crit for over 1,000 damage. Anyway, we won this game without a problem too. And for my final normal game, my chat convinced me to go AP. And to be honest, it didn't go quite as bad as I thought it would. That being said, I would not recommend this build at all. Your damage is super low and you're very squishy. It's just not worth it. I am sorry to all the AP Nasus players out there. I just didn't like this build, even though I ended positive. After these normal games, I realized Nasus is actually kind of fun. So after my normal games, I decided to do some research on YouTube, and here's what I found. 1. You become a champion when you get Sheen and ult, or Boots and ult. Until then, you basically just always lose lane, and nothing I tried was able to save your bad early game. 2. Always use your E if you can when you all in. It lowers the opponent's armor, so it makes your Q do a lot more damage. Also, use your W so they're stuck in your E a little bit longer for more damage. 3. Don't focus on stacks early game. Listen, I know you want to see that number go up and you want to get that cannon minion for 12 stacks, but it's not worth losing lane. I learned this the hard way during my first game against Vayne. And 4, you want to focus on split pushing. However, if you see a good flank opportunity, don't be afraid to teleport in. Your W shuts down the enemy AD carry, and if you can get on the back line, you are an absolute monster. And with that, on to some ranked games. Spoiler alert, this game might be the best game I have ever played, and I'm not kidding. Not only was I destroying my nemesis, but by 14 minutes, I was already able to basically 1v2 the enemy top laner and jungler. I mean, Blitzcrank was there, but he was mostly just moral support if I'm honest. But like most of my games, even though I was smashing my lane, the rest of my team was struggling quite a bit. I mean, nothing feels worse than being 10-0, thinking this game is going great, and then moving your camera over to the mid lane to see your whole team die. But I knew if I played this game perfectly, I would be able to carry. I led the charge on every fight, and my team started to realize maybe fighting with me was a good idea. And just like that, it all came down to the final fight at Elder. Both junglers were dead, but I didn't have my ult or ghost. All hope seemed lost, but then I just said, fuck it, we ball, and ran right at them. And thanks to my 1,000 stacks and A-Soul's insane late game damage, we managed to win the fight and get Elder. And I'll admit, during the last fight, I lost my mind a little bit. Oh, you've been slowed, oh no, what are you gonna do? Oh God, a giant dog's coming at you. Oh God, what's gonna happen? Oh, you're dead too! Needless to say, I think losing this game would have broken me. Well, after that amazing game, I immediately got tower dove by the enemy jungler in my next one. Yeah, after that tower dive, I lost so much EXP and gold that I just never recovered. Normally, after I got ult and Sheen, this fight would have gone a lot better. I basically just had to sit back this game and hope my team was good. Luckily for me, my AD carry and jungler were amazing, and they carried the early fights so I could scale. At the end of the game, our team was just too strong. Even after our AD carry got caught out and we were on the run, as soon as the enemy chased too far, we turned around and killed all of them. Ranked is off to a pretty good start, actually. Sadly, it looked like my little win streak was gonna come to an end because I was against another ranged top laner. And we all remember how it went against Vayne. But unlike Vayne, Lucian has no CC and no max HP damage. So as soon as I got my ult, I kinda just ran at him and killed him. And that was just the story of this lane. He would poke me a little bit early, my ult would come back up, and then I'd just run at him and kill him again. I'll admit, this power did go to my head sometimes. Like when I tried to dive this Diana with no ult and half HP. But when it came to team fights, I was unstoppable. I mean, who else can walk into a 2v5, get a kill, and buy enough time for my team to just clean up the ace? A little after that, we got Dragon Soul and won the game. Game 8 was against another Garen, and this time, I was the one who got an early gank and an early kill. And now that I wasn't behind, once I got ult and boots, I was actually able to just walk at him and kill him this time. I don't know what happened this game, but it got to the point where I could just 1v3 the enemy team. You may think, but Ikor, Lilia is also there. But if you watch this fight, you'll see that she kind of just jumps around and cheers me on without actually using a single move. And if Garen was behind before, this lane was totally doomed now. I went back to lane and immediately got a kill and the tower. After all that, within 21 minutes, we were already destroying the enemy base. And I was so strong that even after we overstayed, I was able to get 2 kills and escape. We won this game on the next push. And my next game started off great. I got a kill and Singed flipped me to safety. And even though I wasn't ahead this game, I was still able to 1v3 the enemy team when they all came top. Almost. Sadly, this game wasn't really a game. Singed and Sion just cheesed and split pushed all game, and I was the only one that could stop the split push. But without me, my team would just lose 4v4 fights, and eventually we just lost the game. I was just completely lost this game and probably deserved the loss. And my next game didn't start off well either. I don't know if it was the frustration from the last game or just losing focus after 4 hours of League of Legends, but I played really bad this game. Even my good plays like this TP flank, I played really badly mechanically. I didn't focus just one target, I got hit by everything, and eventually I died. Yeah, the enemy team got Soul, Baron, and Elder, so we just lost the game. Now the smart thing to do after that game should have been get off for the day. But I decided to keep playing. Thankfully, this game started off a lot better than my last 2 games, even though I accidentally took Flash instead of Ghost again. Fast forward a little bit and I was once again not doing very well. But because Nasus scales super well and my team was pretty good, I was able to make it to the late game team fights and actually be pretty useful. And after winning this game, you'll never guess what I did next. Yep, I queued up for another game and immediately got tower dove. But to my surprise, this game was actually going pretty well. And not just pretty well, I mean really well. I knew that even though our team was behind, I could carry this game. I had carried most of the other games I got super fed, and this game was no different. I showed up to our first big fight, and before I knew it, I got a kill, then a double, then a triple, and after a slight delay, an unofficial quadra kill? Unfortunately, even though we had an amazing fight a few minutes ago, the final fight, there was just nothing we could do. They had an incredible team comp, and even though I was strong, they could just walk past me and kill my entire team. And with that, I finally got off for the day. Let me tell you, a good night's sleep made a huge difference in my next game. And as I killed Shen again, I was starting to feel really good about this game. Until I looked at the score. But even though our backs were against the wall, I was not gonna let that stop me from doing everything I could to win this game. And getting this 1,000 gold shutdown was a good place to start. Yeah, we literally got no other kills the rest of the game. But don't worry, I have a feeling this next game is gonna go way better. And right off the bat, this game started off really well. And to make this even better, I had a jungler who actually helped me kill Sion when he proxy farmed. As usual, if you weren't able to stop Nasus early game, you're probably gonna not stop him in the late game. I mean, I already do half of Ezreal's health in a single Q. By the way, you're welcome for slowing him and saving your fucking life. Why would you? Okay, I guess you can stop Nasus if there are like 3 of you. Anyway, a little after that, we won the game. After getting ahead early last game, I was quickly reminded of how weak Nasus is before level 6 this game. Things almost got really bad when Aatrox almost won a 2v1 top lane, but luckily we were able to kill him and save my entire lane. Fast forward a little bit and our team was quite ahead. And after he won this fight top lane, it was looking pretty doomed for the enemy team. Until, nah, just kidding, they surrendered in 15 minutes. And at the start of my final hour, I was pretty confident on Nasus. Oof, damn, yes! Oh, come on! It's okay, their whole team is AD, so if I can find a way back into this game, that would be great. Oh wait, that Ashe ult was crazy! Guess I found my way back into the game. In all honesty, even after those kills, our team struggled to win fights. However, we were playing the long game. After we got Dragon Soul, I got 300 armor, and Smolder hit late game, we kinda just started destroying them in team fights. And in the last fight, I wasn't even needed. Our Briar and Smolder absolutely melted the enemy team, and even though I was there, I was mostly just moral support. Another easy win for the top lane. And going into what I thought was my final game, I was super excited, especially after they failed this gank top. Sadly, a little later they succeeded in ganking me top, and that's when things got really bad. Yeah, this Riven would not leave me alone this game. I was ganked probably 6 or 7 times in the first 15 minutes, but as long as my team was doing well, we were okay. I mean, seriously, why are there so many people in my lane? The turret plates haven't even fallen yet. Luckily, while their whole team was trying to kill me, the rest of my team was starting to get super far ahead, and I was finally strong enough to win some 1v1s. A little after that, the enemy team surrendered at 20 minutes. So after that last game, I thought I was done with Nasus, but it wasn't until 2 weeks later when I started scripting this video that I realized I don't have 10,000 stacks yet. So I hopped back on 2 weeks later to play one last game. The goal? 364 stacks. If you're wondering why I look kind of nice here, it's because I had a date that night, but I said, fiance, nope, I gotta do something real quick. And let me tell you, I was very glad I played a final game. Dude, what the absolute hell? Yeah, I don't really know what happened this game, but in 15 minutes, I already had 5 kills, 4 tower plates, and almost 10 CS per minute. And as I ran around winning another 1v3, I started to realize this game might be over. In the end, this game was a great way to end the challenge. I ended the game 16-1, I got plenty of stacks, and I absolutely stomped the enemy team. And with that, I got 10,000 stacks and the challenge was over.